Presented by Chevrolet.
If I'm not back in 3 minutes, you take your mother out that window. If she won't go, you drag her out. Dad, hey. I love you.
Jack, be careful.
Jack is a man of action, meaning if his kids are dealing with something, his wife is dealing with something, he dives right in. He acts off of heart, he acts off of instinct. And so the moment when we see Jack standing in front of this wall of flames is definitely a moment that Jack jumps right into action.
Oh, okay, we gotta go. Keep this over you and hang on to me, okay? We're just going across the hall.
There's no time to think. The fire doesn't think, the fire just moves.
Whoa.
Jack's immediate response, of course, is wake Rebecca up, get the kids up, make sure Kevin's out of the house, okay, great. Until everyone is safely on the sidewalk, that is the goal. And then there's also the moment where Jack goes back into the house because can't leave anyone behind or anything.
Here's this family who's just been through probably the most devastating, stressful experience that anybody could sort of think to live through, and they feel like they've come out unscathed. Think that she feels such a tremendous semblance of relief that they're out of the woods, that it's the furthest thing from her mind.
We really love this episode because this episode in many ways is the sort of the culmination of those conversations that we had with Dan while shooting the pilot. We were talking about which direction the show would go and what are the potentials for stories. A lot of ideas that happened on the set of the pilot came to fruition and became major plot elements, but this is sort of the last bit of those conversations.
We always knew he was going to be dead, but we always also knew that we were never going to reveal when. We thought maybe we could extend it over multiple seasons, which is what ended up happening. But I remember thinking, oh, this would be great because we could do things in episodes where we think he's going to die, and he doesn't.
You must really love that dog.
Really love the girl that loves the dog.
I see. Yeah.
When Jack is in the hospital and says he loves the girl who loves the dog, that's just another display of Jack giving everything he can to this young girl that he thinks the world of, knowing probably the heartbreak of losing a pet. He's gonna risk himself.
Hey, it's just a house.
I know a lot of people, particularly even Kate, really feel that Jack went back in for the dog. I think it was more than that. This home, what this home represents to this family is much larger than just the space they inhabit. It's the memories, it's the things, the collected pieces that Jack ultimately brings out of the house.
I never got batteries for the smoke detectors. That you asked me 3 times and I forgot.
And I was more than capable of getting those batteries myself.
Okay, so then why'd you keep asking me?
I think people were so expecting his death and the circumstances around it to be so cinematic, when in reality, it's really ordinary. Like, Jack and Rebecca have this very ordinary conversation about blaming one another for getting batteries for the smoke detector. And the last thing her husband says to her alive is you're standing in front of the TV. And they have this cute little exchange where I stick my tongue out at him. And that's it. There's no impassioned speech about how much they mean to one another. It's so ordinary, and that makes it 100 times sadder that that's their last exchange. Jack. People process things completely different. And when we shot the scene, I believe that Rebecca was full steam ahead, walking into that room, expecting to recount, you will not believe what the doctor just tried to pull on me. And no one told me that Milo had stuck around. We had shot all of our other scenes there at the hospital together, but no one had told me that he had stuck around, so I had no idea. And apparently that was the first take that they used when I see him, when I see his body, and I didn't know that he was gonna be there. So it was all the more jarring and upsetting and just indescribably sad. All of it felt so otherworldly to shoot. gonna get emotional talking about it because we've, built the lives of these characters together for 2 years. There's so much history, like a shared history there and familiarity that when it came down to like really doing it, it was hard to like let go. He had a heart attack at the hospital. A widowmaker's heart attack is what they call it. From the smoke. And he died.
What?
No.
No, we're not gonna do that right now, Miguel.
These two people who loved this person so deeply. I mean, he was his best friend, the love of her life. In another world, they should be able to share that moment of like absolute utter grief and shock together. But it wasn't the time for that. She had to sort of like put her foot down and say, you know what, if you're gonna get emotional, you have to take a walk, because it's just not gonna work. I have to be strong right now, and I can't see you fall apart. I'm not capable of going in and ruining my children's life if you're gonna stand out here and cry. I need you to be strong for all of us. That's our calling right now, and that's what Jack would want. Every year on my saddest day, your father finds a way to send me some sign that literally makes me belly laugh. Like the very first year, I'll never forget, I got in the car and You Can Call Me Al came on the radio. And then I changed the station and it was on the next station too.
The idea that Jack's presence is still felt, that there are these little reminders that Rebecca picks up on every year following his death, reminds her that he's still there. He's always with her. He's always going to be with her.
The audience deserves to see how Jack went, but I think it also deserves to see that while it was tragic, it's not the end of your life.
The good times and the bad times are all interrelated, and they don't exist without each other, and that's what this show's about.
Yeah. Out of the greatest loss, you somehow find redemption and deliverance, but how you do that is up for grabs, and they've lived a full and good life.
Do you see what I mean this year? This year, he sent me you. This year, he sent me you.
Jack is always sending reminders. I don't know. It's also kind of magical to think that Jack is there. His bond to his wife and his family are so great that he's still around.